Very blasé.
I know, dude. I tried to feed you and everything.
I know. I'm sorry. Letting you down.
Hey everybody, welcome to Seriously Lighthearted Yoga. Today we promised you that we were going to break down a pose.
And this is it. This is the
This
pose
is it.
that
And
we're
there are
breaking
some
down.
further variations we're going to get into in a second.
Yeah, so take it away, Kai.
Yeah, guys, so this pose,
Get out of your way.
let's call it Vajrasana for now. The one we're going to get into in a second is Virasana, but this pose, essentially, there are kind of 3 points that are really important in this pose. Your hips, your knees, and then your ankles. I like to think of kind of the first variation as sitting on your ankles, or heels, rather, with your toes on the ground. So if you can kind of see here, my toes are on the ground, feet are up, my hips are on my ankles. And if you don't have any pain in your ankles, in your knees, or in your hips here, you can go ahead and give it a shot at the next level, which is just to lower down to the tops of your feet, and again sit on your heels. Thinking here of not letting your ankles splay out so much. You want to keep them kind of upright, and then your hips just sitting right above that. And then again, checking in with your knees. This is a very deep knee stretch for some people. Checking in there and then noticing what's happening in your hips. If they're all okay, there is another level that you can get to. And this is where we change from Vajrasana to Virasana. This is Hero's pose. And this is just sitting in between your heels. So I've opened my heels out and my hips are sitting in between them on the ground. Now, working into this, if say you can get a little bit lower than your heels, but not all the way to the ground, you can put like a little blanket or something just right under your seat. And that's kind of just a little bit lower than your heels, but also just a little bit higher than the ground so that you can kind of sit in it more comfortably for a while. Remember, holding poses for longer periods of time builds the flexibility. And so, from here, if this is really easy, because for some people this is really easy still, what you can do is then break it down even further and go into Supta Virasana, which is basically when you just lie down. And in this pose, you can begin to feel it very deeply kind of up in this area. So from the inner hips up to around your diaphragm. And it begins to open up this front body pretty deeply while it's also working into the front of your hips. And this pose is great for people that sit in chairs with a lot of their day. A few things I will mention is that if you cannot lie down comfortably like that, or if you cannot bring your hips all the way in between your heels, don't try and lie down. Maybe take the first step and just come down to your elbows here briefly. This is kind of the intermediate step between sitting down in Virasana and lying down in Supta Virasana. Now, with all of those poses there, again, if you have any sharp, like shooting pains in your knees, in your hips, or in your ankles, stop. Don't go any further. That's not the kind of pain you want. Again, what you should be feeling if you feel something is maybe a deep stretch in the knees. Again, not painful, just feeling like they're opening, maybe a little bit tighter, but not discomfort, not pain. And if you try and go too far in this, you will actually find that your knees get hurt very quickly. So I would recommend that you don't push it too far. Maybe start with once a week, trying out these poses, and then build up to twice a week, and then build up to 3 times a week in your practices, and until you're getting to the point where you're doing it maybe every other day. Again, the patience is a big part of building flexibility, and this pose is a great way for you to begin to exercise that patience because it does start out very easily and then gets a little bit deeper with each step.
Yeah.
So
be patient with this one, guys. Don't hurt yourself. Have some fun with it, though. Like Kai said, take your time. It's going to build slowly over time. I can't get really past my
tops of your feet?
The tops of my feet. I don't feel like I have the form quite right with that one. So yeah, that's about where I'm at with it. So it definitely takes some time to build that flexibility, build that comfort with the pose. But be patient, and it will come. So
yeah.
Let us know if you have any questions or concerns or dirty jokes, I guess. I don't know. Not really. Give somebody a high five. We'll see you guys all tomorrow.